Speaking of religious types, these prophet types, there's a guy named Rick Green who's out there who is the Constitution expert for the right, for the religious right, for these white Christian nationalists. And he got caught because a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, he came out vociferously in support of Vivek Ramaswamy, saying that his ideas are great, he's fantastic, he's going to be, I'll tell you what, I'm going to play that clip, and then we're going to roll it back to just a couple days ago where he's withdrawing his support and eating some crow, changing his opinion because of Ramaswamy not being a Christian. First, here's Rick Green, pro Vivek Rick Green.
I'll say two things. Number one, I think he's one of the most important voices in America right now. He articulates our values maybe better than anybody else out there. Kerry Lake's kind of close, but Vivek does it amazing. Secondly, I'll say this, Gene, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, almost every conversation I've had about the presidential race, his name comes up before even DeSantis or anybody else. I get asked about him by almost everybody. They want to know what I think about him. You know, is he with us? Does he have our values? Is he the real deal? I've had the chance to meet him a couple of times at CNP, blown away by his presentations there. And I'm just so thankful for him. And what you were talking about at the beginning with the religious differences, obvious, but the religious similarities and the passion for freedom of religion and a recognition that there is a God. Remember what we've always said, the difference in the American system is that freedom comes from God and is exercised with a respect for his authority. And Vivek shares that conviction with us. So I think he's a very important voice. And I would love to see him, if not in the White House, certainly in the administration, and a major player for helping us restore America.
Yeah. What a full-throated endorsement of Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign. He's one of the most important voices in America today, declares Rick Green. I would love to see him, if not in the White House, at least in the administration. Even talked about his faith, even acknowledged the fundamental differences of religion. So he gave that thought and still came out of it with a ringing endorsement. That is, until his other religious members of his cohort got in his ear and forced him to recant his support, his full-throated endorsement, as it were. Here he is, just recently, eating some crow about that thing you just heard him say.
It'd be a great time for me to eat some crow right here from what I said a couple of weeks ago about Vivek, because, I mean, the Rolling Stone quoted me as gushing over him. I was like, oh, did I really gush? And I went back and watched it. I kind of did. It was awful. I was like, and here's the thing. And by the way, kudos to Kuhneman, because you're right, brother. And I just want to say this. Why are we at a point in America where the church has done such a lousy job of raising up leaders that a Hindu articulates Christian principles better than any Christian candidate on the ballot? So my gushing was the fact that this guy, a Hindu, is actually saying what we believe. He's articulating our positions better than anybody else. And where I got it wrong was, and I went back and watched it, I said, either, if not in the White House, on the team. What I meant was, I'd like to see him in the cabinet, not the actual president or vice president. I think he'd be a great Secretary of Commerce. So there's my crow. I was wrong in gushing, and I can't believe the Rolling Stone used those words. But Hank is 100% right that we want Christian leaders. And the founders said that, right? The founders said it over and over again. You want leaders that are biblical leaders.
One, and most importantly, the founding fathers did not say that. The vast majority of our founding fathers, especially those who wrote the documents, especially those who were responsible for writing the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, were deists. They were not theists. They were not Christians the way we understand it or practice it today. The vast majority. Secondly, less important, but secondly, what's going on with Hank Kuhneman and the flag pin? Well, it's like something out of a Will Ferrell movie where every scene, the flag pin is even bigger and bigger and bigger and more bedazzled. The sad thing about this, and I hope you share in this sorrow with me, that these are people who have an audience and they are convincing them that it is a justifiable reason. It is a disqualifier from office, even though the same Constitution he's an expert about doesn't set a religious criteria. It does not set a standard or a requirement to hold office that is religious. If it was that important by the founding fathers he claims to know so much about, being the America's Constitution coach, you'd think he'd know that little detail that everybody else seems to know. But they are giving their followers permission to be as bigoted as they want to be because their religious leaders say it's okay. That you're not qualified to be president of the United States because you're not of my religion. This is white Christian nationalism. It just is. You, Rick Green and Hank Kuhneman and the rest of the panel should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves.